Bro, like I told you in yesterday's video, I've cracked the code. I know the equation to figuring out if you're gonna hit on sneakers or not, right? So, hey, what up, Rico gang? Today we gonna unbox the Jordan 4 Maniere. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I was not a huge fan of this shoe, but once I seen it in person, all of that changed. So let's jump right into it. All right, so this is the Jordan 4 Maniere box, and what jumps out to me at first is, of course, the plastic film around it. Most Jordan boxes don't come with this, so whenever it's a collab or it's like a premium pair, I mean, to compare it to a shoe, we're not gonna unbox this one yet, but just like the DJ Khaled, the Resale, it's got that plastic film around it, right? So that's the first thing I noticed, right? So when you slide this out the box, when you slide that out the plastic, what you notice is the Maniere logo right here on the side. Right now, once again, this shoe was hideous to me at first. I didn't like this shoe, and it was because it looked brown. I don't know if it's coming through the right way as far as the colors on this. If you see it in hand, it is a brown, but it's more like a violet. Like, it's weird, but I don't know if these details show on the camera, but it has kind of those speckles that most Jordan 4 and Jordan 5 boxes do have, right? So far so good. Now we have the size tag right here, which shows that this is a size 10 that I hit, and they got another Maniere logo right there. All right, so let's go ahead and unbox this thing, right? So you slide this off, and this is the first thing you see. It kind of says Maniere. I'm looking at this like on my camera as I'm recording this, and I did notice that this was Jordan jumping up after he hit that shot. Like, in person, it doesn't, I can't make those details out, so that's pretty cool. Maybe because I'm seeing it from a distance or whatnot. So that's a pretty nice touch. You have that same print on this paper, and then you have this shoe. All right, so my first thought about this shoe, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro, I was not a fan of this shoe. I didn't like this shoe, but once you hold it in hand, then you kind of see that sort of violet, or it's weird, it's not really brown. It is brown, but it's more like a violet. But anyway, you got that sail kind of colorway across the bottom sole, that color that I hate the most. Honestly though, on a shoe like this, it looks good, but they hit that midsole with the black. And then when you get to the toe cut, I'm not sure if those details show on camera, but I can tell that this leather is cut really good, and this also feels like really good, really premium leather, right? So you come up here on Jordan 4s, I'm always kind of weary and cautious about how this feels. Most of the times on the retros, this feels cheap, but on this shoe, this feels really good. They have the little, I don't know if that detail will come out, and there's the Maniere button right there. All right, so now let's talk about the tongue. All right, so now let's talk about the tongue. It's got the A for Maniere with flight right there under it, kind of resembling the regular Jordan 4 tongue. Another detail that I really rocked with was this back heel tab. For those who don't know about the Jordan 4 model period, so the Jordan 4 would have released in maybe '89, and by that time, Nike and Jordan brand hadn't quite split off yet. I mean, they're technically not split off, they're still the same brand, but just Jordan brand is an entity within itself, right? So the OG models of 4s are gonna always have the Nike Air on it, and then some of the retros, the re-releases, will have the Jumpman logo on there. Then let's transition to the inside. This sort of lace pattern that you see here is hard, bro. Like, it's kind of like that inside the entire shoe. So transitioning down here to the air bubble tab, it has that the same as all Jordan 4s, and then on the bottom it's similar to most Jordan 4s, right? So, alright, and so one quick thing I want to compare on this shoe is I want to compare it to a 4 that came out earlier this year. We're talking about the Midnight Navy 4. Now, I don't know if you can see on the camera, this creasing like right up here, I don't think is going to be possible on this shoe, simply because of how high quality this shoe is. Like, I'm pushing down on this and I cannot get it to give. So this is definitely just a high quality cut. So honestly, I think this shoe is a pretty hard shoe. I think that this is more so a higher fashion type shoe, right? This isn't your everyday throw on with a pair of, you know, sweats or anything type shoe. this shoe is one that you probably, you know, you could almost wear this. You could almost wear these to church, bro. You know what I'm saying? You could wear these to an important function, or you could wear these on a nice date. Like, they're Jordans, but they kind of give off like a luxury feel to me, right? There's a lot of mixed reviews about this shoe. Like me, for instance, when I first seen this shoe, I did not like it. But overall, I would say I would give the shoe a 8 out of 10. All right, and so I want to go over some predictions on the Maniere 12. I want to take a look at the price and let y'all know why a shoe like this is #1 above retail and why it's so high above retail. So automatically, you know, it's a collab, so that off the top lets us know that this is a limited shoe. I believe stock was a little under or over 30,000, somewhere in there, right? So this wasn't a just super GR massively produced shoe. So just like most shoes, the bigger sizes are the ones that are the most expensive, the ones that you can get the most profit for, right? So I got this shoe in a 10. So 412, 415, somewhere around there is just the market value of this shoe. Now we're gonna look at the trend, right? So these first started surfacing November 7th, which is well before the release date of November 23rd. But these started surfacing, and of course, when they're early, they're always gonna be more expensive. Why? Because when you're wearing a Jordan before it comes out, that's just some sort of a flex, that's a status symbol, whatever you want to call it. So because most of the stock isn't released, then when supply and demand meet, then boom, there's not many of them in circulation. Plus you add the factor of the bragging rights. But what's gonna happen with every single shoe is that the closer you get to the release date, it's gonna dip down a little bit, right? So the closer you get to release date, it's dipping down, right? Because by November 16th, if you're buying them early, it's like, okay, why pay $1,000 for them? They come out next week or whatever. So boom, that's how it's dropped down to $500, $600. And then as you come closer to the release date, which is the 23rd, is when you see, boom, it starts to fluctuate, right? So it kind of dipped, but a shoe like this definitely stayed steady at about 400, 450, you know, in that range. And once again, that's simply because it's a limited shoe. It's a nice shoe. All right, now before I go elsewhere, I want to show y'all another Maniere, right? Because Maniere, they have a bunch of collabs with the Jordan brand. I remember the Maniere ones came out, they went crazy. Okay, and so let's look at pricing on these, right? Oh, so #1, this was a women's shoe. These came out in women's, but look at the resale on them, right? Now these came out last summer, so this kind of gives you an idea of, you know, a timeline of a hold on a similar shoe, right? Once again, you're gonna always hear me tell you, I don't necessarily believe in holding unless you have a bunch of pairs, right? Unless you have 10, 20, 30 pairs and you're not gonna miss that money, because then holding is worth it, because all that profit combined is gonna be worth it for you. You know what I mean? All right, now I wanna check eBay, right? Because eBay is another tool that I like to use to kind of gauge the price of things and see how the market is moving. All right, so we're gonna search up the Jordan 4 Maniere on eBay. All right, and I rarely look at the listings themselves. I always go over here and I check and see what has actually sold, right? Sold items, what they're actually selling for. So I see, boom, a size 8 went for $419. I see a size 13 went for $360, which is crazy. A size 13, another size 13 went for $350. A 7.5 went for $400. So even though we're seeing on StockX, we're seeing prices a little inflated, this is kind of a better idea of what the market is. The market on this shoe is more so around, I would say, $380 to about $420, right? You got your outliers. Maybe this person who sold this for $445, they are a trusted shop, right? They maybe sell a lot of shoes. They maybe have repeat buyers. So that's definitely something you can watch for, and you can always pay attention to as far as gauging the true price, the true value of a sneaker, right? Also, look, bro, like I told you in yesterday's video, I've cracked the code. I know the equation to figuring out if you're gonna hit on sneakers or not, right? So man, meet me over in that video, bro. I love y'all. Let's get it.